Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm going to discuss with you today the initiative and referendum process in Arizona. The Arizona Constitution was created during a time that was called the Progressive Movement. This was a political movement to reduce and curb political corruption by political machines and the political influence of large corporations in Arizona. Arizona residents wanted to have maximum citizen participation and a voice in their government, so they created the Arizona Constitution on December 9, 1910. In addition, residents wanted to ensure that every citizen was equal before the law. At the time of the Progressive Movement, Arizona's economy or businesses were largely composed of railroad and mining companies and their political influences. The majority of Arizona residents were workers in these companies without rights, protection, or a voice. Arizona residents wanted lawmakers to answer to the public and to be transparent. At the Constitutional Convention in 1910, the labor workers suggested worker reform rights and ideas such as an 8-hour workday, ban on child labor, and as well as other progressive ideals, recall of judges, and ballot initiatives. An initiative is the method by which Arizona voters can propose a new law, amend existing laws, or propose constitutional amendments by collecting signatures from qualified voters to have the measure placed on the next general election ballot. Before signatures can be collected, an application for serial number with the complete title and text of the proposed law or amendment must be submitted to the Secretary of State's office for approval. Once approved, a serial number will be issued for the measure and the organization can begin collecting signatures. Initiative petition signatures must be filed with the Secretary of State office at least 4 months prior to the next general election. If enough valid signatures are submitted, the proposed statutory law or constitutional amendment will be placed on the next general election ballot. Voters would then have an option to decide A for yes, or vote A would be yes, vote for the proposed enacting of the new law or constitutional amendment, while a no vote would support retaining the existing law. The number of required signatures is outlined in the Arizona Constitution. An initiative to amend the Arizona revised statutes requires a minimum signatures equivalent to 10% of all votes cast for the governor at the last preceding election. An initiative to amend the Arizona Constitution requires a number of signatures to be equivalent to 15% of all votes cast at the last governor's preceding election. Referendum. A referendum is the means by which Arizona voters can veto a law or part of a law by gathering signatures to place the issue on the ballot of the next general election. Any measures or part of any measure enacted by the legislator except laws immediately necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, or safety, or for the support and maintenance of the Department of State government may be sent to the ballot for approval or for rejection by the people. To qualify to appear on a ballot, a referendum petition must be submitted enough valid signatures to meet the requirements outlined in Arizona's Constitution. A referendum requires 5% of all votes cast for the governor at the last preceding election. Before any signature collection, an application for serial number with a copy of the measure to be referred must be filed with the Secretary of State. Once the application and serial number is approved, a serial number will be issued for the measure and the organization can begin collecting signatures. The person or organization putting forward the referendum must file the signatures with the Secretary of State's office within 90 days of when the legislature adjourns. If enough valid signatures are submitted, the bill will be placed on the next general election ballot. Voters would have a choice to vote yes to allow the law or go into effect, or no to support preventing the bill from going into effect. The referendum in 2024, this will be calculated based on the number of votes cast in the governor of 2022 election. Compare and contrast initiative and referendum. An initiative is an act, direct democracy, where citizens of a state or county draft legislation which is placed on the ballot for public vote. A referendum, in contrast, is an act of a representative democracy where the government submits a piece of legislation to the legislature for public vote. Additionally, initiatives are infrequently used to bypass the legislature to allow citizens to put forward policies directly they feel are essential. This type of direct democracy allows citizens to actively engage in forming public policy and can check on the power of their legislators. However, it typically involves drafting the proposed legislation, collecting signatures from citizens to the petition to be placed on the ballot, and then voting. Whereas referendums are initiated by the government and are used to refer existing legislation to the public for a vote. This type of representative democracy allows the public to directly approve or reject laws passed by the legislature. Unlike initiatives, referendums are often used to gauge public opinion on the controversial law or measure that has already been passed. In some cases, referendums are used to give citizens the power to repeal or modify existing laws. While initiatives and referendums are both forms of direct democracy, they differ in origins and approach. Initiatives are initiated by the citizens and used to bypass the legislature and bring policies directly to the public for vote. On the other hand, referendums are initiated by the government and used to gauge public opinion on laws that have already been passed. Initiatives are far more powerful and frequently used for referendums, often seen less effective form of direct democracy. The similarities between the initiative and referendum is that they both used to bring forth democratic change and are designed to ensure that the people's will is respected and enforced. They both require popular vote and are approved or rejected, and both are designed to empower citizens to have direct say in the laws and policies pertaining to schools, corporations, associations, unions, and other non-political institutions. This allows citizens to participate actively in the legislative process, and even the issue does not directly concern the government. Finally, initiatives and referendums are two powerful tools of democracy that give citizens the direct say in the laws and policies that govern their lives. They are designed to ensure that people's will is respected and enforced, and that citizens have a direct say in the laws and policies that affect their lives. By participating in initiatives and referendums, citizens can be sure their voices are heard and their opinions are considered. The pros and cons of initiative and referendum. These processes allow citizens to directly influence laws and policies, increasing democratic participation. They provide a check on the legislature, preventing it from passing laws that are unpopular or against public opinion. Citizens can propose and innovate policies that the legislature might not consider. Some issues are complex and require expert knowledge to understand. The average voter may not have the necessary knowledge to make an informed decision. Wealthy individuals and organizations can use their resources to promote their own interests, potentially skewing the democratic process. Voters may focus on short-term benefits and ignore long-term consequences. Direct democracy and the Arizona Constitution. Direct democracy is a form of government in which the laws and policies are decided by the people directly instead of by representatives. This is a contrast to the representative democracy where elected officials make the decisions on behalf of people. The Arizona Constitution supports the idea of direct democracy through the use of initiatives and referendums. So in conclusion, initiatives and referendums support the ideas of direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution by giving Arizonians the power and control in the way their state government functions. It's also important to Arizonians that their democracy has high levels of participation and voice in how things are done. The initiative and referendum process increases participation and the strength of their voices. Thank you.